Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The trailer finally debuted at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, and we're going to answer that question, was it good? I'm Ravi, joined by Krishna and Arjuna, and we're going to figure that out while Mr. Michael does all the buttons and pushing to make sure we sound terrific.
And look terrific.
And look terrific.
And eat terrific.
Oh boy.
We are Venom.
Oh no.
Venom is life.
Wow,
Venom is life.
Man.
Venom
Actually,
is life.
Venom sort of relates to this.
I mean, it's
Venom.
all the MCU, so it all relates to everything.
Oh, yeah.
Massive spoilers, obviously, for both Spider-Man No Way Home and probably some other MCU properties, honestly.
Just any type of pop culture. We'll probably spoil Star Wars. We'll probably definitely spoil Harry Potter.
Every time.
Matrix. The Thomas the Tank Engine 90s version.
Is that something to spoil there?
Yeah, you remember when Henry got buried in the tunnel?
No. Did that happen?
Yeah.
Wait, was that? I thought it was Henry.
That's what I said, Henry.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Henry
thought you said
got buried.
So Henry got put in, and then they put bricks in front of him. It's actually creepy if you think about it.
Yeah, Thomas.
Why
actually,
they buried him alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. They walled him up.
The train.
Yeah.
Because he refused to
Who's
move.
alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because he refused to do his job.
And he refused to leave the tunnel. So they just said, all right.
Yeah, there's actually like some weird labor law
That
stuff going on.
is
there.
confusing.
Go back and watch that show. And to our audience, go back and watch that show. The
Thomas the
original
Tank Engine.
90s Thomas the Tank.
Watch it with Ringo Starr.
The original British
narrating.
version, which
Yeah.
I feel like was a little less censored than the American version.
It absolutely was less.
And you will see that we have come a long way in our society.
Not
Or
really.
have we? I don't know about that.
Well, wasn't part of... I don't know why the fuck we're talking Thomas the Tank Engine. But that was obviously with model trains
Yeah.
and then stop motion.
Yep.
Or very, very rudimentary, like stop motion.
Yeah.
Not even... Could you
creepy
argue with stop
eyes.
motion? Like... But now it's all like CG and shit.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
It's
weird
bullshit.
now.
Anyway,
Not my Thomas. the Tank
Doctor
Engine.
Strange. Finally, we got a proper trailer. Unlike typical Marvel fashion, where you get like two kind of weird post-credit scenes or whatever, we got like a full-blown fucking trailer,
Which was a surprise.
which
It
is a
was
huge
not-
surprise.
No, people did not know about this. This trailer has not been, as of the recording of this podcast on Tuesday, December 21st, has not been posted on the internet yet. It is still
Wow.
can only exclusively see it.
That's kind of not true. There are the TikTokers and the social media
Sure.
dipshits
Right,
that
you
have
have
been.
the illegal pirated version.
Not
I
the
thought you were going to say
official.
the elitists. I was like, are they elitists if
But
they
you don't
are
have but
pirating?
they have not official, like, Sony, like Marvel has not officially put it on like their YouTube channels or social media pages. You can really only see it in theater.
Over 1 week from today.
I'm
they'll
gonna
finally drop
say. I'm gonna say.
Like when do we think they're gonna drop
Probably
it?
near the end of the year.
End of the year, and then the next time you see a trailer, or oh man, so Super Bowl's obviously coming up in 2 months.
Yo, that's a long way.
A lot of studios drop like obviously trailers and teasers and shit.
Maybe trailer 2.
Here's
by
a
then.
question:
Right.
Is it full blown trailer 2, or is it this trailer with some added?
I think it's a
scenes?
second trailer.
I would say trailer 2.
because the movie is still due out in May. I think it's May 6th.
Yeah.
Is the release date as of right now. Obviously, I would be shocked if that doesn't change with,
Omnicron.
with the way the world is going right now. But that is what it's due for. So February feels like a good time to drop a second trailer.
That makes sense.
About 3 months before.
But this first trailer that we saw, if you had to recap it in one word, what would your one word impression be, Krishna?
My one word impression would be "aight."
Aight?
Yeah, it was "aight."
Is that like an actual
Like
word?
it's like all right. You short.
No, I
condense
know
it.
what aight is. I'm just
Oh.
in terms of its like validity in the English language.
I used amazeballs one time for my one word impression.
I remember
But
that.
at least Amazeballs.
Wait, was that for Triple Frontier?
It was either amazeballs or incrediballs.
I
He
think
has
it was
used balls a
Incredibles.
few times. He's used balls multiple times.
You really like balls,
At least twice.
huh?
Well, it's just
Krishna,
it
how do
has
you like
more-
your balls?
It has more. It's like an exclamation point.
Would you say this was 8 balls?
No, this was just "aight."
I
The
hope
trailer was fine. Here's the thing. We saw the trailer right after seeing an emotional roller coaster of Spider-Man.
yes.
So let me just say, by the
Spider-Man.
time I got to this Doctor Strange trailer, like I didn't really have anything left in the tank, so to speak, to feel one way or the other.
You left it all
about
out there.
I left it all out there. Yeah.
Wow.
I gave 110% for the movie, for the feature, for what I went to go see, and it delivered. It over-delivered. Over-delivered? That's negative. It was great. No, over deliver is good. No, you're right. Over deliver was.
Do you
good.
think you were like tired though? Because we did see the movie.
I saw?
early.
That's the thing
And
as
you were
well.
just like, oh fuck. I'm
When I was
so
emotionally
tired.
drained, I also had no sleep.
Did you have coffee that morning before?
I had tea because if I have coffee, I would have
Never slept.
probably
again.
pooped myself or
Oh
something.
god.
You know, real quick, I'm surprised that, since slowly kind of going back and seeing movies and everything, I realized early on that being at home for so long watching movies, my bladder,
It's
I think,
detrained
has-
your bladder.
Oh yeah, I can't. I was not able to up until this movie, I was not able to train myself in such a way that I would have to leave halfway through the movie.
Well, you peaked for the right movie.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the training that you've been doing intensely is finally it paid
So,
off. You
do
paid
you
off
have
at
a
the
Rocky
Super Bowl.
montage?
You needed it for the Super Bowl.
So I just want to give a couple of shout outs real quick to the movies that had to suffer because of my bladder. The new James Bond film couldn't make it all the way through. Eternals couldn't make it all the way through.
Shang-Chi, Wonder
Shang-Chi,
Woman.
Wonder Woman. I
Wonder
watched.
Woman was at home.
I was at
HBO
home.
Max.
Oh, you watched it all the way through?
No, at home I had to get up and go pee. But I'm saying for movies I
Dune?
saw
Oh,
in
I
theaters.
see, I see.
Dune I couldn't make it all the way through.
shocking.
Green Knight.
Green Knight couldn't make it all the way through
wow.
either. There's been
Suicide Squad.
nope, couldn't make it. Yeah,
Venom?
Venom. I purposely left.
I mean, that was 90 minutes on the dot.
Black Widow, because Black Widow was the first movie I had seen in theaters since COVID.
Right.
And that's when it was around the halfway point. I was just like, what is that pain? What is that pain? And I was like, I can't hold it.
You neglected your pee.
I neglected. So yeah, random fact.
Well, there we go. That's
But
good.
the Spider-Man No Way Home, I made it all the way through.
There we
Wow.
go.
Have you thought
Yeah.
about wearing adult diapers?
No comment.
Oh, the other reason I'm saying I eat for the trailer is that I feel like we didn't get anything too shocking from it. After years, maybe not years, but months of speculation, you know, it felt like a very safe trailer and probably in a good way.
I don't know. I
Maybe
thought
I'm
we
forgetting some
I think
stuff.
we
So
got
what
some
about
big stuff in
the hint of Mephisto?
What hint? I missed that one.
Hint of Mephisto.
just a hint of the Mephisto.
I'm just
in
throwing
there.
the name Mephisto out there because maybe somebody will watch this and be like, "Oh yeah, there was a."
Yeah.
I don't think there was any
So
reference.
what were
to
the
Mephistos.
so what were the elements? I guess that shocked.
I think the big one was honestly Strange Supreme, which is the what if version that we got in there. I think there have been a lot of questions of how much what if was going to connect to the MCU proper. There was speculation that for Eternals was the voice at the end, the Watcher. Turns out it was likely Mahershala Ali's Blade. But this was, this is a direct reference to that show and connection, and I thought that was I thought that was really cool.
Did they also have the Hydra monster that you see in What If?
Correct.
The tentacle thing whose
Yeah,
name I
what do you
can't
call that
remember.
Gorma?
Something of that.
Dumar
That's going to be
movies on
in this movie.
Yeah, correct.
Which is
Or
another
some
link
type of version
to
of
What
it,
If.
yeah.
Which begs the
So-
question: is the Watcher in it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
there might be more connections to the What If show than we had initially thought.
Here's the reason. So you're right. That was shocking, but the reason it's shocking is because we were right. We literally have a clip on YouTube.
Sure.
Actually calling out that exact prediction.
Yeah.
That Doctor Strange Supreme is going to
Yeah.
appear.
Well,
And,
right. No, I
So we nailed it.
right.
We are going to be famous.
Well,
That's never
We're
how
going
it
to undo
works.
all the hate that we garnered for the Kang, mishap. We're going to undo all that with this amazing.
What, I'm sorry.
prediction.
What Kang mishap? We didn't know. We're not the fucking writers of the show. We just guessed.
Just go back, look at the comments. People.
Those comments are just a
I
slew
think
of
they are
bullshit.
fantastically hilarious.
Oh, they're definitely hilarious.
They're so good.
I love the ones that are always like, "Oh, this aged well,"
This aged like fine wine. This aged like cheese. I'm like, we get it. You like wine and cheese.
but then there's
Okay.
like the Nate stuff from
Nate
Ted
the
Lasso,
Gay,
and
you guys are prophets. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like, guys,
yeah.
make up your mind. It's more like we're just lucky and unlucky.
we have luck.
Simultaneously.
We're like Master Chief. That's why Cortana picked us. I've been playing a lot of Halo lately. I'm
No, you
sorry.
haven't.
Halo
You said
Infinite.
you stopped because you got bored.
Yeah, I started playing it again.
Oh, well.
you got
okay.
on board.
I lasted I think 24 hours, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to shoot a Covenant in the face.
You know
That's
what?
addiction.
Or, a really good way of anger management.
Violence. Video games cause violence or something,
Yeah.
not politics and the world,
Not guns.
not guns. Juna, your one word impression for Doctor Strange.
I'm gonna go pretty much opposite of Christian. I'm gonna go hype.
I'm sorry, we have height and
He's
hype.
He's
Hype.
hype.
I really loved this trailer. I loved the surprise of Marvel dropping a full trailer as the second end credit. We haven't gotten that since Captain America: The First Avenger, which showed the Avengers trailer, which was our first look at the Avengers movie, which was obviously a special moment. Obviously, Avengers is a special movie because it was, kind of what the whole, Iron Man's whole promise of the Avengers initiative. It was finally coming to fruition.
You mean
seeing that
Nick Fury?
Right, Nick Fury at the end of the Iron Man movie, and that first after credit scene is like, I'm here to talk about the Avengers initiative, right? And we kind of knew that's what we're leading up to, right? And so to kind of get that team up of all these Marvel characters and finally see that was a special moment in that theater. I don't think you can recapture necessarily that exactly, but I think why this trailer worked so well, not only to just drop a full-on trailer at the end of this movie. I think we talked about it in our last pod, the Spider-Man No Way Home pod. We talked about Doctor Strange kind of being the MVP of 2021, just in terms of just becoming a more likable character, a character that all of us have talked about. The Doctor Strange movie being just a big
Bleh.
shrug for us, right? Like, oh, this isn't that cool. But I think from his role in Infinity War to What If to his role here in this movie, even his cameo in Thor Ragnarok and such, he has become an infinitely more interesting character by not being in these solo movies. And now it's like, maybe give him another solo movie and it can be interesting. I also think this Multiverse of Madness is kind of like a big Marvel event because we've obviously been building up to the multiverse, right? Or we've had the concept of the multiverse with Loki, obviously now with Spider-Man. So I think it's just going to be interesting to see that even more, dissected more in this movie. And last but not least, Multiverse of Madness is the return of Sam Raimi to superhero movies, right? Sam Raimi, the director of the original Spider-Man trilogy. A lot of love and a lot of hate for some of those movies. But, I think it's exciting that he's coming back to the superhero world and he's going to be dealing with the Multiverse of Madness.
Do you think that's why they were like, let's just honor Sam Raimi by putting at the end of a Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, I think that's part of it.
that
And
part
then
of
also, obviously, Strange
That makes sense,
is a
actually, yeah.
huge part of this Spider-Man movie, too. So it just kind of makes sense to tease where he's going next.
Oh, thank you.
That was Alexa there. I don't know
it didn't
if
pick it
picked
up.
it up.
Oh, impressive.
But I'm hyped for it. It was enjoyable to see it every time. I've seen it in theaters and
Not get a headache.
not get a headache.
Wow.
Eternals, and
I'm curious to see when the for those listening. So Arjuna unfortunately had a really bad headache when he saw Eternals.
Twice.
Both times he had a headache when he saw it. I'm curious to see that when there's the at-home release for Eternals, and inevitably you'll watch it at some point, right?
Will you though? Maybe
on
you won't.
TV.
Maybe you'll
I'm
avoid
just
it.
curious to see will you automatically get ill? And if that's the case, maybe we should talk to some scientists and see what's happening in this
Eternals
movie.
has just the right imagery and flashing images. And
Yeah,
sound
to,
design
trigger something.
To trigger something in a small amount of people. I need to find the other people who were affected.
You
by
should
Eternals.
search. There's
You should
probably
find
others.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be like the Eternal Six or something, and
Yep.
we'll gather around and we'll make sure that Kevin Feige and company remove it from existence.
Boom. I mean, if you, as
interesting
of right
goal.
now, because Eternals is a starting point, in theory, you could just pretend it never happened and you'd be okay.
I mean, you guys know Spider-Man No Way Home's already made way more money than Eternals.
Well, at the time, when I checked at the end of the weekend, Spider-Man No Way Home worldwide had ranked in close to 650 million
Eternals made $400 million total
Yeah.
after its 3-week run, right?
today, because it's still in theaters. It's,
Oh,
it's
is
only-
it?
It's only
Okay.
at $400 million.
Jeez.
Which for a movie that costs over $200 million is
It's not great.
not ideal. Not ideal.
No.
Financial flop.
So yours is hype. I guess mine is going to be homely.
Homely.
Mm-hmm. That's so homely.
That's
homely. When I see someone doing the dishes, that's homely. That's what I mean by. And why I bring that up is because you see Wanda outside in some weird tree orchard cutting trees.
Yeah.
Homely.
She grew a bunch of trees in her little cabin area.
Yep.
She's still living off. She's still pretending she's in a TV show. Clearly,
WandaVision.
What do you think?
WandaVision.
or trying to create that reality.
Either that, or do you think like she's kind of put herself in therapy?
Probably. I mean,
because
it is
remember, like
therapeutic.
therapy, like for real, actual like therapy places and things of recovery and such. Stuff with plants and everything is considered very therapeutic in terms of healing the mind and so forth. So I wonder, because in the trailer, there's kind of like a fakey drone shot into this orchard area with these trees and everything, white trees, and she's there, and then Strange appears and is like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" And she at first thinks he's there to kind of ask, "Hey,
Westview,
are you pissed about Westview?" And then Strange does what any normal superhero does and says, no, it's fine. Who cares the fact that you took people hostage?
Not enough people watch the Disney Plus show. We can't talk about it.
Basically, that's what happened.
I was also too busy to appear in your show, even though everyone thought I was going.
Everyone thought I was going to appear, and I didn't.
There are some big implications with that, right? The fact is that we have at least 2 references to Disney Plus shows in the trailer. Obviously, that's going to be in the movie. And we've talked on and off about this, I think, as we've consumed both mediums, right? Movies and the Disney Plus stuff. It's like, how much are these 2 elements going to cross over? Or are they going to try and keep them separate in order to not confuse audiences and et cetera? This seems like a pretty clear a way forward.
I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle, right? Like, I think you would be able to understand what's going on without watching WandaVision, but you might be confused as to, like, why is Wanda wearing different clothes? Why are her powers different than what we saw in Endgame? And it's like, if you are an audience member that needs further context, then you need to watch WandaVision. But if you kind of watch these movies casually and you're like, I don't really give a fuck about character development or, like, how they got here. Like, I just want to see the pieces as they play in this.
I want to see the big action scenes.
It's fine, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, like,
Sure.
that's probably the smartest way to play it, because that's the best value and, like, the best way to, I think, to encapsulate all audiences, right? So if you are a huge Marvel head, right, and you're a huge Marvel fan, if you've really watched WandaVision, you're going to get some insight into what's going on, more insight into this movie, into what's going on, versus, like, a non-WandaVision fan.
Yeah,
Well,
I'll still be curious,
Yeah.
because I'm like, the experiment's going to be like, I think we all have friends who maybe haven't watched the...
No, I'm
The
only,
show.
I'm,
I don't
only,
have
I'm only
friends.
friends with true Marvel fans that watch everything
Oof, sorry about that.
and read the comics.
My
Oh,
friends
wow.
are DC stans.
My friends
Well,
are
that explains a
Trekkies.
lot.
They're only looking forward to the Batman in March.
I am looking forward to the Batman.
No, but
Who's
that's all
not
they're looking for.
to
Oh,
the
nothing
Batman in
else.
March.
Oh, Superman.
I did
Henry
tell you.
Cavill.
So when we went, I think it was Eternals. So before Eternals, they had the Batman trailer, but I smoked a little bit before, and we're in
you're freaking
a
out.
dark theater watching this Batman trailer. I freaked the fuck out. Still
I
a
am
little
most-
scared now.
Not to go on a tangent, but I am most intrigued by Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Same
as Cobblepot.
as yeah.
Like
Unrecognizable.
Why would you take a beautiful man and make him so ugly?
but that's part of that's acting. It's a role of a lifetime. He's like, what would it be like if I was ugly?
What if I was like Danny DeVito? Batman.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wants to...
But even like his
looked at
laugh,
that,
where
was
he's
like,
like
I can do it.
Cobblepot, and he's
Yeah,
just like
it's
laughing.
pretty
He's like,
good.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
I got you.
You know what? I'm gonna call it right now. Oscar
Oh,
worthy.
God.
No. Oh, you got to stop doing this to yourself.
Give Willem Dafoe the Oscar.
No, they won't.
Willem
Well, no, of course they won't.
Dafoe. But back to Wanda and the WandaVision show. What I think is going to be interesting, because in the trailer, Wanda says, I had a family. They're gone now, but I heard. Like, she kind of hints that she heard the voices, right?
Right.
So everyone was kind of discussing after, the post-credit scene of WandaVision. Wanda is with the book of whatever the fuck, and she's doing her magical weirdy thingamajiggy, and then she hears her kids' voices, and everyone's like, oh, it's the multiverse, it's the multiverse. So if they are going to touch upon that, which I think you kind of have to, regardless if your audience has seen WandaVision or not, because that's still, for that character, that is probably one of the most crucial things for her to do anything, right? if
Could be
she's
her kids,
if
yeah.
she's gonna go on a new quest with Doctor Strange, that has to be in some way addressed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start looking at all things with Doctor
D&D
Strange
campaign.
as D&D.
I think you should just do that for
Hello,
all.
I'm Doctor Strange. Would you
media.
like to come on a quest with me?
Yeah.
Quest.
A quest.
Huzzah!
We're going to go and fight Mordo.
Well, I feel like how at least
yeah.
at least like the impression I get with this trailer is like Wanda is very much the co-lead. It feels like in the movie, and I do wonder like, is she coming like? Again, what we saw at the end of WandaVision is like she's kind of like not good, right? Like she's
What is
a bit
good
gray
when it comes
you,
to family?
You could say she's done some bad things. She's dealing with some dark magic, and
She's dabbling.
I think we theorized. I'm like maybe Wanda's the big bad of this whole entire movie.
Mephisto.
But anyway, it seems like potentially, she's not always going to be on the same side as Strange throughout this movie. And I think that'll be fascinating. I'm sure we'll get a Strange Wanda fight in there, which should be fun to have. And who knows? Maybe it'll be Wong. Maybe the whole movie's about Wong.
Speaking of Wong, he's obviously in there, and we know that he is the Sorcerer Supreme now, right?
right.
A lot of people are like throwing out I don't remember this happening in WandaVision, but was it Agatha that says to her, the Scarlet Witch is more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme?
I think so.
So then would that mean Wong's version of Sorcerer Supreme or Doctor Strange's Sorcerer
I just think
Supreme?
whomever is the Sorcerer Supreme, I would imagine. I would not say it's like specific to one individual Sorcerer Supreme.
Just as a whole?
Yeah, any of the Sorcerer Supremes, right? So I think it'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll get a fight between them, and they'll kind of duke it out and battle it out, and
we'll see.
See who wins.
I would rather, I'm sure we will have a couple of shots where the CGI looks like shit because it just happens, right?
It's magic.
It's magic too. But what I really want to see, though, is the behind the scenes, the real life footage of them waving their hands around and doing like this, like that. That's what I want to see first.
Yeah. Actually,
I really hope that leaks somewhere.
Yeah. You know how you hear that behind the scenes of every Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
And every single actor can't help but make the lightsaber sound? I really hope it's the
Well,
same
you guys
thing with
heard
Doctor Strange.
what's her name in episode 8?
Ray?
No,
Princess Leia?
who played the commander with the purple hair?
Oh.
Laura Dern?
Yeah, so she when she at the blaster out, you can see her going pew pew, which is incredible. I just want to see. I honestly want to see in Spider-Man Doctor Strange when he's doing the spell and his eyes are going up. I want to see that without any of the effects. Where it's just
I mean, that's
just ah.
that's some hardcore
You
acting.
That's next
gotta
level.
put yourself in the situation, and
And,
a lot of that
pretend.
is just pure imagination.
I mean, you are wearing literally a cape. And you have green
And it's
screen
just
and blue
green,
screen
a
around
field
you,
of green.
and you just have to be there is magic all around you. Contain it with your hand.
Contain it with your believe in the magic.
Do you guys remember? Do you remember Dark Phoenix, the last
Yes.
Oh God.
Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy X-Men movie? That came?
Unfortunately.
There is a part where Fassbender is with his people and there's a helicopter, and he's just using his magnets.
Oh, yeah.
and he's just ah!
He's going Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I was oh
Yeah.
my God, how do you
So
do
there's
that?
this I forget
So
which
good.
Premier League coach it is, but there's a GIF out there of a Premier League coach losing his shit
Yeah.
on camera, and then somebody went and superimposed him going Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So I
good.
believe what these actors do to pull inspiration. Just look at soccer coaches that fucking lose their shit, and it's imagine that's you.
Yeah.
Or
imagine your
Tom Brady
players suck.
recently when he at the Bucks game where he threw a fucking tablet.
Or when
right?
he told the Saints interim coach to go fuck himself.
Yeah. Boom. Just
Yeah. What was the point? Why did he tell him that? Because they picked him off?
Yeah.
Well, that's just not very
Tom
sportsmanlike.
Brady is a whiny 44-year-old bitch.
He really is.
but he owns a lot of money, so
His wife owns a lot of money.
Was that in crypto?
he's really good at social media. I don't know.
His team is good at social
Yeah,
media.
his team's incredible.
So Mordo's also back. We see
Been waiting for that.
Chiwetel there. So that's gonna be interesting. But the last time we saw him and Strange kind of ended where it was more of a fuck
Oh,
you,
yeah.
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
I thought it was.
He's
I thought
totally
way
the
it was
villain.
gonna-
Like he's the villain now.
Yeah.
no, he's the good guy.
He's got dreads now.
So what the
He's
fuck?
got a different hairstyle. That means
more edgy.
That means he's matured.
Do you think he got
And,
snapped?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. He
If his
didn't.
hair's that long,
No.
no.
Makes sense. But
It
he
needed
could have
time to grow
He
out,
could have
so.
magicked
But,
it.
but
Yeah, no, that's
also,
true.
like I guess, like a way to change the power dynamic too is he didn't get snapped and he got more powerful in those 5 years.
That makes
Oh,
sense. Yeah.
You know, and now he knows stuff.
He's
that's
learned
strange.
things and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't think the Strange Supreme machine, from the multiverse or the What If show, who potentially is that Doctor Strange, you don't think that's going to be the villain?
Maybe. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I think the trailer. I always love trailers that play it.
Yeah.
You know, that you don't know everything that's going on. You just
Eternals.
you just kind of show like some stuff, and then you're like, you figure it out, or come see the movie. Bye.
I'm sorry. That's what happens in a trailer?
Yeah, it's just a guy comes down and is like, here's an image, here's another image. Come see our movie. Bye bye. That's how I would make a trailer if I had a movie.
Just how you would hire some random guy to show up,
Yeah.
superimpose on the screen.
Yeah. And he would pull out of his pocket just like really badly printed images
Yeah.
off like printer paper from the trailer. He's like, here's an image, here's a still from the movie.
My God.
I'm trying to think, what's like one of the bigger anticipated films of 2022 right now?
Batman is probably up there.
But we've seen trailers for all of those, right?
Oh, I mean, Black Panther is still due out in 2022. There's no.
I'm
trailer for
gonna
that.
I'm gonna say that's not coming out on time.
That's
It's still slated for 2022.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna.
Oh, Thor: Love and Thunder is supposed to
So
come
what they
out
should do
next
for
year.
Thor is they should do exactly that. That also feels like something
That's
that
a Taika
Taika like would do. Is like, hi, here are some pictures.
Hi, this is Korg. I've got a rock.
I get 2 rocks.
Come see
in
the movie.
Bye.
Love it.
So also Christine is still around.
That's
Christine being
Rachel
Doctor
McAdams'
Strange's
character, yeah.
love interest.
Yeah, she got a big role, obviously, in the What If. And then the images you see of her are in the wedding dress. Strange as getting married to Strange. I would assume.
I thought, okay, maybe I saw it wrong or I don't remember correctly, but I thought he was a guest.
No, he was
At the wedding.
No, he was up there at the altar.
He could be like one of the best men or groomsmen.
No, I feel
Maybe
like
he's
there
doing
is-
the wedding.
I feel like the positioning of that, and then you get Strange Supreme right after that, and Strange Supreme's origin is losing Christine.
Yeah.
Right. That's why he's.
That's
evil.
why he's there. Like, I think that is going to deal with Christine in some way.
So
shape, or
maybe
form.
then Doctor Strange is the best man to Strange Supremes.
There you go.
Oh,
Boom.
he wins.
But also, those Strange Supreme ends What If not as necessarily fully good again, but I would say somewhere in the middle of things.
Yeah.
So that's why I
With a
also
very important job.
That's why I don't think he is the villain.
Yeah,
of
I
this
think he's
movie.
going to show up to help. And to like Michael's point, I think we're going to get some Watcher in here, which I think, like when all of the Spider-Man showed up to No Way Home and people were screaming, I would scream if there was a
How
live
can
action
he appear
What If.
in that and the Batman? They're competitors.
Money.
It's very
Could you
good for
imagine if
him.
like years ago studios like Disney and Warner Brothers were like, okay, we're going to hire all these actors, but they have to sign non-competes to like not be in other.
I don't think it was non-competes, but I think at least at first it used to be frowned upon if like you were
Probably.
in a Spider-Man movie and an
Yeah.
X-Men movie because it was competing studios. But now it's less like, you know what? You go do you, boo-boo.
I guess.
You do you, boo-boo.
Yeah.
We've talked about a ton of people, but who else do you think is going to show up? in
Loki.
this? Loki?
Yeah. I think.
Well, that was not
That's a
confirmed,
rumor.
It's yeah, and I think it just makes sense, right? They're setting up a nice team of magic users, so you got to get the God of Mischief in there, right? It just makes sense.
Loki would be interesting and makes,
your rogue.
makes sense.
He's the rogue of your party.
Would or
It's a D&D
wouldn't?
campaign.
Yeah.
Would make sense.
But how the last time we see him, he's potentially in
true.
another universe.
Doesn't have to be that variant of Loki. It could be any variant of Loki. Kang will show up.
He is
Kang will die.
Loki. I guess it could be any variant.
Maybe,
because we're doing a whole multiverse thing.
Crocodile Loki.
Crocodile Dundee.
That'd
What
be
was,
fun.
what was the name of that? Croaky? No, what was that? Loki's?
Crocodile Loki.
I don't think
That was
so.
it?
Wasn't it alligator Loki?
Nope. Crocodile.
Alley Loki?
No.
Loki?
I thought it was something,
Gator
like croaky.
Loki?
Croaky.
Loki
Yeah,
Gator?
I could be wrong.
I think Spider-Man probably makes some sense to show up in this movie. Now, originally when these movies were plotted, Doctor Strange was supposed to come first and then Spider-Man. Because of delays and how things shifted around, they swapped them, and that changed this movie and that changed Spider-Man a little bit. So maybe he doesn't show up anymore in this movie. We do know Holland is contracted for like one more MCU appearance.
Like crossover, right?
Yeah, but no, I mean, that could be as simple as a cameo, or that could be like a 30-minute thing, or
a what
It
if
could be
episode.
it could be a cameo in like 2 years when everyone's kind of forgotten that Tom Holland was Spider-Man,
I feel like it's gonna.
and then he shows up and everyone starts crying.
I think it's gonna be sooner rather than later. It feels like it's gonna be
Probably.
one of these movies next year, and this would be the one that makes the most sense, just because of the connection.
Yeah.
You also have to think like Sam Raimi's directing a superhero movie. Tobey Maguire just showed up in the MCU again. Like, probably he's gonna maybe show up. Maybe some of those Sam Raimi.
Do you think
villains.
Sam Raimi is now J. Jonah Jameson, where he's like, get me pictures of Spider-Man? No, I'll make a picture of Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Bruce Campbell is also like a Raimi like super contributor. I think he's like appeared in all his movies. He obviously appeared in all the.
I love that super contributor.
he's like, it's like every director has.
They're called actors, Arjuna, not contributors.
He's an on-staff.
He's a
actor.
contractor, okay?
Yeah.
Let's treat them how they are.
He's on staff.
No, I would imagine he's going to show up maybe as, probably not as one of his Spider-Man characters, but, you know, some
There
type
better
of-
be some Evil
Bruce
Dead
Campbell.
references, too.
I'm sure.
Like somebody with a chainsaw hand.
if it's if they're doing like Multiverse of Madness and they're going to go through different universes or whatever,
Have some fun with
you
it.
could do anything.
Yeah.
You should be able to do anything.
And that's going to be your Bruce Campbell cameo. They'll just fly through, like, one of those movies randomly.
Yeah.
Great.
There's a note here, America Chavez and Miss America.
Yes. So
Young
America
Avengers.
Chavez is a comic book character introduced in 2011. She plays Miss America. There are some shots with her in the trailer. She's like a co-star, so she's just a super powered individual. I don't know much personally about her origin. I think she has like flight and
But we
super
see
strength.
her in the trailer?
Yeah, she's in the trailer. So she actually, when like Doctor Strange like slices the bus in half, he saves a woman. That's the woman. When he's like in that doorway that kind of looks over to like the cosmos or whatever, I think Wanda's on his right and America is on his left.
Was she in costume? I
She
totally
wasn't in
forgot.
costume. She was just wearing like a jean
Just regular
jacket or
stuff.
something.
Ooh, jean jacket. Nice.
So
But
this
she's-
is like a
but she's-
potential origin story or something?
Yeah, this would probably be her origin.
Interesting.
She's also a young Avenger, which, as we know from 2021, we've been littered with like young Avenger candidates left, right, and center.
Littered.
So yeah, there's just so many of them.
That's an interesting choice of word.
Krishna, Ravi, these are just filthy super contributors, okay?
Oh, no.
just,
No.
but I mean, it's cool. It's cool. We're going to get to see like another new character kind of introduced within the movies as well that could potentially like interact with all of these other new characters we've been introduced to.
So let's hear some bold ass predictions then,
Oh, shit.
and not the usual Arjuna so and so dies.
I haven't done that in a long time because
I
You
That's
literally
not
said that
for
last
real.
week.
When did I
Bold
say that?
predictions for Spider-Man. You said that Peter Parker dies.
that's because that's truly bold. It's killing the lead off.
All right,
You know what I mean?
we'll give you some time to think, Arjuna. So Christian, go ahead.
All right, Doctor
I
Strange.
need time
will
to think
die.
as well.
All right, my bold prediction, I guess. My
didn't know.
bold prediction is going to be. This isn't actually that bold at all. It's going to make less money than Spider-Man.
That's not bold.
That is the coldest prediction I've ever heard in my fucking life.
No, that's not my real prediction. My bold prediction is going to be we're going to get through this entire movie. It is going to be a little bit more around the discussion of multiverse and all that fun stuff. But I don't think it's going to be the multiverse the way that we want to see it, where it is like running through multiverses or you have a variety of characters from what, you know, because there was also the joke. I won't even call it a rumor, but there was the joke of like, maybe we'll see evil Hydra Captain America. Maybe we'll see
All the what if variants.
like all the what if variants of like Tony Stark and like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans will reprise their roles. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be more of a, unfortunately, like tamed version of Madness where the multiverse is just going to be kind of the big battlefield and then that's it, as opposed to like the entire movie being this weird, wacky thing. And then I think it's going to get, the weird part is going to come towards either the third act or maybe even the post-credit scene where it's going to be more around Kang type stuff.
Kang.
Yeah. Whether that be Strange and Jonathan Majors have a cool, weird discussion in, similar to like where Loki had his discussion, or if it's going to be Strange witnessing and seeing, the multiverse war or something. But that's my bold prediction.
Yeah.
The Timekeepers. Lizard brains.
I think my bold prediction would be kind of just to piggyback off of that. This is going to be the start, I think, of a series of movies and television shows that are going to deal directly with like the fallout of everything we've seen so far involving the multiverse. So if I had to make a weird prediction, I think there is something above Kang. Something that's behind Kang, something that's behind everything that's happening with Strange and the Spider-Man and everything. Something that is pulling the strings.
Mephisto?
That would be, I'm hesitant to use that name, but something pulling the strings
Kevin Feige.
of these different events and characters in order to break apart the multiverse, for whatever the reason is. And this was maybe the first time we might see that.
They should cast Kevin Feige
explicitly
as Mephisto.
Can I change mine?
Okay, sure.
Mephisto shows up. That's the end.
Cold
yeah.
prediction.
Honestly, it might be the Thanos
I don't think because Mephisto is such a he's basically the devil.
He's the devil, right?
He's the devil, and I don't know if audiences.
Multiverse, or?
I don't think audiences would necessarily
dig it.
Too much,
at this point, honestly, it's such a joke. They should play it like they did, but the Ben Kingsley reveal in Iron Man 3.
Yep.
And just like fake everybody out and have it be completely fake.
Yeah, I think that works as well.
Hilarious.
June, did you figure out yours?
Yeah, I'm going to pretty much go the opposite of yours and say like this movie is chock filled with cameos and different actors from like a whole shit ton of superhero movies. We're going to get Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. We're going to get Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Fuck yeah.
We're going to get Tobey's Spider-Man. We're going to get everybody.
So do you think then
Fantastic Four?
Do you think then
Everybody.
Do you think like Marvel and Sony, because obviously Sony has nothing to do with Doctor Strange, but do you think, I guess more so Marvel with the Spider-Man No Way Home, they were like, we're going to get our audiences used to screaming again.
Yep.
At cameos.
Yep.
Now, because basically everyone screamed, I think, 2-3 times, 4
yeah.
times or whatever. So this one's going to be like truly every fucking 10 minutes people are going to be screaming in the theater.
Can we get all 3 Hulks?
Look, I think
even though 2 of them are the same.
I think this Doctor Strange movie is like a Civil War type of event in the MCU.
If you remember correctly, I think a lot of us were disappointed with that movie. Specifically,
the stakes.
The note.
I think here we were disappointed, but in terms of just like the scope of the movie is what I'm saying. I think this will be similar in that regard. One thing I do want to point out, so the director of No Way Home was John Watts, right? Mm-hmm. He is actually going to direct the Fantastic Four movie. And so I actually thought potentially that we could get a Fantastic Four reference or something in No Way Home, but maybe
we did. If you noticed, at one point there was a shot to a street, and the street was called 4th Street.
Well, that's breaking news here on Was It Good podcast.
That's what we're going.
There's a 4th Street.
4th Street. Oh my God!
In New York City. In New York City, where the Fantastic Four have a building called the Baxter Building that has nothing to do with 4th Street. So what I'm getting at is
no
4.
I think the answer is no.
So I think we'll get maybe potentially in this movie we'll get some Fantastic Four references. I also think Shang-Chi could come back. If you remember the Shang-Chi after credit scene, dealt heavily with Wong. Doctor Strange is clearly recruiting people in this movie
for the Wong Vengers
for doing his own Wong. Wow. So maybe Wong recruits his own, like he brings in Abomination, he brings in Shang-Chi.
Nope. Wong Vengers.
The Wong Vengers.
The Wong Vengers.
Versus.
All right, real quick. Who are your starting 5 for the Wong Vengers?
Shang-Chi, Abomination, Ned, and
Ned. That's true. I forgot about that.
Ned, and then the weird guy that there was a random. I was just rewatching Deadpool 2, and there's like a random normal guy that the cab driver from Deadpool 2.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Indian
that
guy?
guy.
That's my starting Wong Venger group.
God, the Wong Vendors.
What a lineup!
That
I mean, they're doomed to fail from the very beginning.
They'll be fine.
if they have the Avengers music behind them, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That music is like
Oh man,
Just keeps you safe.
Oh man,
Yeah,
the Wong
the
Vengers.
Wong Vendors, incredible.
Before we get out of here, guys, this is the last MCU thing, obviously, before Hawkeye. So Hawkeye doesn't really make it onto this list just yet.
No, Hawkeye, you could.
I guess you could. There's only one episode left,
haven't
but
seen the
I
last
think
two.
it's very
You got
important.
asterisks it.
Yeah. But based on the 9 MCU movie series things that
5
came out
series,
this year
4 movies.
I can't
for
remember them
2021, where would you kind of rank things? I can go first because I gave it a lot of thought.
Wow.
How, really?
Yep. Starting at the bottom is going to be Black Widow.
Wow. Okay.
I agree. You can put me
And
there.
then
as well.
then it's going to be American.
American one.
Then it's going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier at the number 8 spot.
I agree with that.
Wow.
too.
So you hate all the Captain America stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of the most boring.
It is
stuff.
the most
it
boring,
was like the
generic
most-
stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was most
it's like-
straightforward, or
Superheroes exist, but government espionage.
Superhero.
yeah, it was just like it
Which
just
I
seemed like
get.
it
Some
seemed
will
like
call it-
small fry.
The Suicide Squad.
Oh, another great MCU property.
Right up there with Venom. Let there be carnage.
Because it's not done yet, I have to put Hawkeye
Okay.
as my number 7.
I'm not ranking Hawkeye because I haven't seen the last 2 episodes.
And then I feel like I'm forgetting everything else that came
Okay,
out
so
this year.
the Disney Plus shows in order were WandaVision,
Yep.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye.
Right.
The movies were Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, so then my number 6 is going to be. Ooh, this is rough. I guess Eternals
Yeah.
for my
It's
number
way
6.
too high, honestly.
It
It should be 10.
And then my number 5 is going to be so much pressure. Shang-Chi.
Ooh. Wow, you put WandaVision over Shang-Chi.
I think I would as well.
Wow.
And then it's going to be WandaVision.
Okay.
Then it's going to be What If.
Okay.
Interesting.
The top 2.
I'm actually kind of
I
shocked
think
they put What
everyone's-
If that high.
I think top 2 will be the same for everyone, but I think the order is gonna be
Then it's going to
interesting.
be.
Yeah, what is the order here for people?
This is interesting.
I know for me,
Our
it's,
producer is auto-filling it for
no,
you.
that's the opposite. So my number 2 is Spider-Man No Way Home. And then my number 1 is Loki.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
the reason
For
is
me-
because
for me it's flipped.
Loki was such a fun experience because I watched a lot of it with Learman. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow.
No, I put Loki as number 1 because it felt like the first, and it still does feel like of everything that has come from the MCU, including like What If, it just feels so kind of out there and very, very different and just kind of zany. Like it feels like a really cool sci-fi drama mystery, which I love. Like I love that type of stuff. While Spider-Man, for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward story. It's very, very well done. It has all the cameos and things that you would want. And then obviously everything else there. Arjuna, we are missing one other MCU property from this year. I don't know if you realize that.
What's that?
Venom Let There Be Carnage.
That's not an MCU property. That's
It's
a Sony
Sony.
property.
Right, but isn't it in conjunction with with
That's
similar
part
to
of-
Spider-Man No Way Home?
No, because that actually MCU in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Venom is not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. No, he's not. Well, he appeared in it, but the movie itself is not part. Like it is a Sony production, so I did not include that in.
Well, anyway, if it was included, it would be number 10.
No, it would be number 9 for me.
Did you
It
think
would be number Eternals would be 10 for me.
just because of the damage it cost?
Why do you?
Literal
the movie was
damage.
so bad it tried to kill me. It tried to murder me.
All right, so Krishna, where's your list at then?
So I agree with the first 2, Black Widow, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and then I would probably go What If. Then I would go Shang-Chi,
Wow.
WandaVision, Eternals, What am I missing here?
Eternal. That's pretty
Oh,
high.
and then I'm not ranking Hawkeye yet. I haven't seen enough. I'm sorry.
So yours is
and
an
then,
8 list.
And then it's then Loki, and then Spider-Man's 1
Spidey.
or top
Spidey
position.
man.
And Venom is like 15.
Okay.
Michael put Hawkeye as number 2 for you.
Really? Interesting. Hey, if that's no, I don't think I'm gonna like it more than Loki.
Our producer.
The highest Hawkeye can go for me is 3.
Mine was 7.
Yeah.
That's the
because-
highest it could go, you think?
Just
What
because
if the finale is mind-blowing? What if Kang shows up?
Oh,
I mean, no.
then it'll be number 2.
And Mephisto.
Yeah, but if you look at it overall, Loki was like awesome from beginning to end. I didn't like the first.
And then Junior, yours.
Mobius. All right, so 9 for me, that's easy. Eternals. Okay?
Okay, that's
I
fine.
mean, it caused you physical harm. I understand.
It's just not it's just not great. 8 for me is gonna be What If. I wasn't as high on that show, I think, as others. Falcon and Winter Soldier for me is 7.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would go for 6, probably Black Widow.
Okay.
Wow.
Wait, you liked Widow more than Falcon?
Yeah.
Is that
And What
because
If?
there was
And
less
Eternals.
Widow than there was Falcon?
No, see with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I liked when it was about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
'Cause all the other shit I didn't like. For Black Widow, the movie was like okay, but at least what I like about that movie is all the characters introduced with Yelena, with the Red Guardian,
Yeah.
and everything. And
The
I think
mother.
those will be really fun characters going forward. And I'm sure I will look back more fondly on Eternals when like there's better stuff with some of those characters afterwards. Like as much as I dislike that movie, I think it set some good groundwork to build a new part of the universe. 5 for me, WandaVision. Obviously we've talked about it. It started out great, and then it crashed. The end.
It smashed itself into oblivion there.
It did not nail the landing, as they say.
Not at all.
Right now, for 4, I would put I would put Hawkeye right there now.
Okay. It's a good
For
middle
4.
ground.
3 for me would be Shang-Chi.
Nice.
2 would be Loki, and 1 would be Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right,
Spider-Man No Way
Shang-Chi.
Home, I've been thinking about this more. To me, it's like X-Men Days of Future Past. Just in terms of like one of those really crowd-pleasing, one of those like really like fun crowd-pleasing movies where it's like, if you dive deep and you really think about it logically, like, does the movie make sense?
Not at all.
No. But still really fun time, really
Great time.
enjoyable, and like it hits a lot of like nostalgia and builds off of a lot of like what's come before in a really good way.
Unlike Days of Future Past, though, it also just if there was no more Tom Holland Spider-Man, it's a nice close to that.
Yeah.
And then I think what it also did that a lot of movies, actually I can't think of any other movie that has done this, but it also gave kind of a nice close to the other Spider-Man series out there. Like we know that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is still swiping, kicking it, figuring out with MJ. We know that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, he's remorseful, he's figuring it out. You know, they're still doing what they're doing. But it acts as a better closure than what we actually got in their actual movies.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazing Spider-Man obviously just kind of ended abruptly with Spider-Man 2, and that was that.
Poor guy.
Ended with him
and you could
finding,
argue Spider-Man 3, the same thing kind of happened there where it just abruptly ended.
Yeah.
So this is a nice closure, which I think is good. And I think that's everything. A nice condensed pod there.
We've come to the end
But was
of
it
our
good?
journey.
Was this
it good?
podcast good?
Well, you didn't actually ask. You didn't have that in the outline, so that really threw me for a loop.
I mean, we could ask if
Yeah.
the trailer was good.
Yeah, we'll
I
ask
guess.
it. Yeah, Krishna, because I already know your answer. Was the Doctor Strange into
The Spider-Verse?
the
In the multiverse.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, or DSITMM? Good.
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, my brain wasn't functioning properly, but I mean, it's a Marvel trailer. Marvel doesn't put out bad trailers. It was interesting. There's a lot of good stuff. Obviously, we talked about. So yeah, it was good. It wasn't bad.
Nice.
Juno, was the Doctor Strange trailer good to you?
Yeah, it was good. I thought it did a good job of hyping me up. for the movie, and was a nice surprise to have that at the end of Spider-Man. And I like that they did it that way instead of, obviously we live in a day and age where like, oh, you wake up and it's on Twitter, or they drop it at halftime of a Monday Night Football game or whatever. And I thought it was cool to deliver.
What about a halftime of a Tuesday night football game?
Well, that could happen now too.
Yeah, I guess so.
So yeah, I did enjoy it. Ravi, was your performance on this podcast good?
We had a mild break for a couple of weeks, and we were a little rough when we got back, but I feel like I'm getting back into the swing of it.
Like a Spider-Man.
Yes,
That is incorrect.
it was great.
You have failed the test. Was Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness trailer good?
After a lot of consideration and thoughts, and
It's a trailer.
sitting here and talking with you all ad nauseum about a fucking trailer, yes, it was good. It did its job. I'm interested in seeing the movie. Goodbye.
The movies.
The movies. It's where we go to escape. I'm Nicole Kidman.
Oh God, that ad has gotten out of hand.
Far too much.
Real quick,
Run.
quick PSA. AMC, I get you have to to keep your costs down, you have to show every fucking trailer under the goddamn sun.
Yeah.
But for the love of something holy, please remove the stupid Nicole Kidman ad.
I just want to know which. I just want to know which AMC they shot it at.
None. It's a soundstage. Damn. In Sweden.
I want someone to take it.
Well, I assume Australia. That's where she resides.
I want someone to take that ad and cut all the movies that she's watching with Tom Cruise movies. So it's like,
That would be
it's like
very
Top
awkward.
Gun.
Wait, she in Top Gun?
No, Tom Cruise movies.
Oh, I thought you
She
meant
used
movies.
to be married to Tom.
Yeah, no, I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Krishna is up with the gossip.
Yeah.
Am I though?
Wasn't that like a big deal back in whenever the fuck they broke up?
Early
Like 100
2000s?
years?
Yeah.
Was it early 2000s or the 90s?
Or maybe the 90s, because the early 2000s was him. It was Tom Cruise and what's her name, Katie Holmes. That's right.
Right, he had her as a
I
prisoner.
think it's Arjuna who's up on
When
the
the
gossip.
infamous when he jumped on Oprah's couch to declare his love to Katie Holmes.
Was that the beginning of the Scientology?
That's right. And he tried to break. He was playing Mercy at one point with Oprah, trying to break her goddamn hands. Someone's
remember that.
Someone's recut it as if he's Sidious with force lightning coming out.
There's a lot of good material there
Oh man.
to use.
And with that, that's going to do it for us here on Was It Good. As always, follow us along on Twitter at Was It Good, on Instagram, on TikTok at Was It Good Pod. We live stream these pods on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/wasitgood. We are very close to hitting 200 subscribers there, so please drop in, give it a nice subscribe, and
We want 200 subscribers before we hit 200 episodes.
that would be ideal.
We
That
have
would be
9
cool.
more episodes.
Yeah, we got 4 weeks, a month to figure that out.
Yeah.
Goodbye.